My name is Sarah, and here's 3 thoughts that I have on parosmia. I'm currently on month 5, almost month 6. Almost month 6. My word. Okay, anyway, I'm on month 5 of parosmia, and I have a lot of thoughts on it. And to be honest, if you're looking for a video that's about cures or gonna help you get better, I'm sorry, this is not it. I'm probably not the best person to go to for that. If you've seen my other videos, you probably know that. But like I said, I'm almost on month 6, and so I felt like I just wanted to talk about this. Whether I post this video or not, doesn't matter. I'm just gonna talk about it. So anyway, here we go. Number 1, Parosmia sucks. Again, if you're going through this, I'm so sorry, and you probably already know it sucks. I think even if you aren't going through it and you just know about parosmia, you know that it sucks. To be honest, just the name sounds awful. Parosmia, like that doesn't sound good, and it's not. Like I know that's kind of a given. I was thinking about this, especially like in the first few months of going through it. In my culture, in my community, food is such an important part, and obviously for humanity, food is just like it's a source of energy and fuel, and you kind of need it to survive. But I think even more so for that, in my personal life, I mean, every family event, every friend event, like there's just always so much food, and you just eat. Like it's all you do. That's how you fellowship. That's how you get together. And so not being able to do that for the last 6 months, granted, I still have been eating, obviously, like I'm pretty hard-headed, so I've still been eating a lot of food. But it's not quite the same, and especially in those first few months when it was really rough, and a lot of things made me want to vomit. It was hard to go to these events and just sit there and not really be able to eat much. And then of course you have all these aunties going, come on, go make your plate. And you're like, no, it's okay. And they're like, well, why? Like, what's wrong? And then you gotta explain parosmia. Wait, you had COVID or you have COVID? I'm like, no, I don't have COVID now. I did like months ago. And it's just like such a hard thing. And if you don't go through it, you don't know people who've gone through it. It's such a hard concept to grasp because it doesn't make any sense. Like it's so confusing and it's so foreign that really the closest thing that I found currently is that like people who are pregnant and couldn't eat certain foods or certain things made them nauseous. But even that's like not the same thing. It's very different. It's really hard for people to understand. They don't get it, and which is perfectly fine. I don't expect them to, and I don't expect them to make accommodations for me. But just as someone who, like, I hate talking about myself, which is ironic because I'm making a YouTube video, but I like don't really like that sort of attention, and so it just like was really frustrating for those first few, like while I was kind of getting the hang of everything, it was really frustrating to have to go through that. Just like I said, community and everything here in Hawaii, like it's based off of food, and if you're from a culture or similar community, you understand like how important it is, and so not being able to partake in that, it's so easy to feel not outcasted. I don't want to use isolated again, but I mean isolated. Which brings me to my second thought, avoiding depression. Around the end of month 1, start of month 2, when I began to realize that parosmia was here to stay. It was like an annoying little cousin or something that won't leave you alone, and no matter what, you're kind of just stuck with them, for a long time. That's how I felt about parosmia. No offense to my little cousins, I love them all, they're really great. It just, once that started to kind of hit, that's when depression kind of started to creep its way in, because I came to this realization that like it didn't matter, not that, there are cures out there, there are people who have remedies and things that have helped them, and that's great and awesome. But I think the realization that all possibly could not work, and parosmia could be here for the rest of my life, whether it was 1 week or the rest of my life, like I didn't know. And that uncertainty was really crazy, and it was a lot to take in. While I was processing that, I found myself just isolating myself more because I didn't want to go out, and like I couldn't go into restaurants because the smell was so bad, and half the time if I ate anything, like I couldn't really eat anything. I was basically just eating noodles and rice because those were safe and they were easy, and the rest of the things I just couldn't. And so I was like, what's the point? I'm not gonna go out because if I go out with my friends, they're gonna want to go eat, and I can't. And I don't want to be the person that's like, no, we can't go eat somewhere, because it's like, that sucks. You don't want to be that person. And going to family events, obviously, there's just so much food. Everyone's always cooking, and it was just rough. I remember talking to one of my friends, and that started to kind of set in, and I kind of started to distance myself from people. And talking to them, I realized like, well, that was what was happening, and I was like, I can't do that. Like, if I shut myself out even more, this is just gonna get so much worse. Like, I'm already not in the best mood. Like, this already sucks a lot. And if I continue to just push other things away and keep myself separated, it's just gonna make it so much worse. And then all of a sudden, all I'm gonna have is parosmia, and that's all I'm gonna be able to focus on. I just decided, like, okay, I'm just gonna go out. I'm gonna start just going out with everybody, going and doing things, finding new hobbies. No, that's the right word, hobbies. I don't know why that sounded so weird. Finding new hobbies or activities or whatever, and like just getting out there. And and that was fine. Although I think the problem that I did run into though was that most of the activities I like to do involve the ocean. And unfortunately, the ocean smells and tastes awful to me. And especially at that point, it was so bad. But I was just hard-headed, and I was like, nope, I'm gonna go, I don't care. So I'd go out and surf, and I'd be out there, like, normally I could go surfing for just, like, the whole day. But after, like, an hour, I started to feel really nauseous and almost had, like, a headache because the smell was just so bad. And I would start to get, like, really sick, but I was just like, I don't care. I'm just going to keep doing it because I liked being out in the ocean. I liked like everything about the activity except for the smell and sometimes the taste when I would wipe out and water would go up my nose. But yeah, I just like forced myself to do it. And through doing that, as much as like, again, like the smell was awful, the taste was awful, I had so much more fun. And at some point I found myself not focusing on the smell and just focusing on the activities and the people I was with and having fun. Because I think really like parosmia, it's really one day at a time. If you're going through smell training or whatever it is, like you just got to take it one day at a time because it's not gonna just be amazing all at once. It could be for some people, if you're that lucky person, awesome, great for you. But I think for a majority of people, that's not how it's gonna be. And so you got to take it one day at a time. And in order to get through those days, I found that it was better to find things that I love to do, surround myself with people that I loved, and go out and do things, not just stay isolated. Thought number 3, I have a ton of thoughts. Oh my gosh, I have a ton of thoughts. No, I have a lot of thoughts, but I only wanted to do 3. So my third one is that, to be honest, I don't really remember life before parosmia. And again, now it's basically been the whole like 2021 that I've had parosmia, so it kind of makes sense. But yeah, I've been finding it a lot harder to remember how certain things smell or taste, because I'm just so used to how it's been for the last 5 months, which I guess it's an okay thing. I don't think it's a good thing, but I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. Again, I'm not a scientist, I'm not a doctor, so maybe I'm completely wrong and it's like the worst possible thing for me. But I found that it's not that bad. It's really hard to remember what it was before that, because my like thought process has changed. What I mean by that is like, when I smell something, I don't trust myself because I'm like, I don't think that's what it's actually smelling like. But there's certain things that I can smell. So like fish, for instance, my nephews and I love to go fishing together. And recently they caught a bunch of fish, so they had it in the cooler and they put it in my car. And it stunk up the car. Probably too much. And I jumped in my car and I was like, that smells like fish. Like, it really smells like fish. But then I didn't trust myself. I was like, maybe there's just like something else in my car that smells bad. But I like looked around at them and I was like, does it smell like fish? And they're like, yeah, no, it definitely smells like fish. I was like, okay, cool. Like, that's awesome. I can smell that. But yeah, like I said, so I don't remember being able to just trust my senses in that way, my 2 senses in that way. So it's interesting. So anyway, those are my 3 thoughts on parosmia. Like I said, I have a ton more. I could have made a video that was like 5 hours long on all of my thoughts on parosmia. But if you have any thoughts on parosmia, let me know down below. It's been really cool. I only made like 2 of these videos. I meant to make more, and I will be making more soon. because I have a lot of videos saved up. I just haven't put them together. But anyway, it's been really cool just to read people's comments and get together. Like I said, it's really easy to feel isolated, and so even if, like, I don't really know anyone in my, like, immediate bubble of friends that has parosmia or is going through it, so it's really hard to talk to anybody about it or relate to anyone because they don't understand. But it's been really nice. Like, again, I'm so sorry that people are going through parosmia as well. But it is also nice to be in a community and talk to other people and read the comments and see that I'm not alone in this and that other people aren't alone in this. So anyway, that's it. I should probably stop this video before I say something stupid. So anyway, if you watched this video, thanks for watching. Again, like I said, I'm so sorry if you're going through parosmia. And if you're not, count yourself very lucky. That's it. Goodbye.